Historically, creating a currency, one that had global reach, global scale, was something that was limited to powerful institutions backed by powerful governments. However, as it's often the case when it comes to technology, certain disruptions can dramatically lower the cost of achieving a task, in this case, of creating currencies. And this is one of the three prominent properties of blockchain: currency being one, identity being another, being able to perform smart contracts with identity and currency being the other two. So, when it comes to what blockchain has been able to realize by creating currencies, it has been spectacular. By now, there have been hundreds of billions of value created through these platforms. And pretty much everybody can create a currency. And so in this session, we're going to create a silly, simple currency simply to illustrate the capabilities of the platform. We're going to create a token, a cryptocurrency called Taco. And so I'm going to go ahead and move over to my editor. As you can see here, I have placeholder code. The token that is described there is a Coco token. This is based on the standard for cryptocurrencies called ERC20, the Ethereum Request for Comments. Since the introduction of this standard, there have been follow-on standards that have captured some of the learnings, and we're using here the standard simply for the purposes of education. If you're going to implement a cryptocurrency, you need to consult with groups that are specializing in this field. There are best practices and there's sample code that you can leverage. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and start here. As I mentioned, we're going to be creating the Taco token. And I'm going to go ahead and replace here in this sample code Coco for Taco. So I'm going to enter Taco here. I'm going to do it in the description as well. So Taco, and here I'm going to enter Taco. And this is going to be the last change that I will make here in the description of the token. I'm then going to go ahead and search for Coco to be able to make the additional changes that I have on the code. And you can see here I have Coco token. I will be changing that for Taco. Let's go ahead and go to the next. And I'm going to go ahead and change here once again. Taco, note the casing. I'm following or I'm matching the casing. And I believe that should be the last change. Yes. Now that I've gone ahead and made those changes, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to move to the Remix editor, the online editor for Ethereum that connects to the MetaMask plugin in the browser. So I'm going to go ahead and do that next. And as you can see here, I have navigated to remix.ethereum.org. I'm going to select the Solidity environment. I'm then going to navigate to a placeholder page that I have here called Greetings. It doesn't really matter what you call it. In this case, I'm going to remove the code that was simply a comment there, and I'm going to go ahead and paste our Taco token. If we go back to the top, you can see there that right after the specification of the compiler, I have a description for the Taco token. The rest of it is the type of functionality that you might expect would be the basis for a cryptocurrency. So I'm going to then go ahead, but before I do that, let me go ahead and note the compiler version here. I have 0.4.18. Once I move to my compilation environment, I'm going to go ahead and select it. So that was 0.4.18. Go ahead and scroll further down. And I believe this is the one. I'm then going to go ahead and compile. And you can see that that was successful. I will then move to deployment. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and open up my MetaMask plugin. I'm going to confirm here the account that I have. That is 0x0f65. I have enough Ether there to be able to perform transactions. And so I'm going to select from the three options here, the middle one, injected Web3, and give it a second to propagate there to the fields. And as you can see there, we have 0x0f6, which matches what we have in our account, which is this one. After we've done that, you can see here that the contract has been recognized. And so I'm going to go ahead and move to the Taco token contract. And next, I'm going to go ahead and deploy. Once I do that, my plugin that holds an object and a connection to the node that is participating on the Ethereum blockchain is going to go ahead and request my confirmation for that transaction. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on deploy. You can see here that I am within the Rinkeby test network, and I'm going to go ahead and confirm. Now that usually takes a little bit of time depending on the load on the network. You could see it from 10, 20 seconds to a few minutes. That has been confirmed. As you can see there, we have the contract that's already been deployed to the blockchain network, and we can confirm it in a second through MetaMask to connect to the Etherscan Explorer. I'm simply going to look here at my total supply, and I'm going to go ahead and click, and you can see there the big number. This is given in one of the fractional representations of Ether, so that's why you see so many zeros. I'm going to go ahead and navigate to the contract, and once I click here, I can go ahead and follow that transaction. You can see here the contract that's been created, and you can see here some of the additional details. If I went through the steps to verify that code, we'd be able to see the code that we have entered. At this point, all we have is the live contract with all of that functionality. You can see here that we have a pretty name as well, the Taco token, which sounds fun to say, Taco token. And if we go back to Remix, we'll see there all of the additional features. At this point, I could transfer tokens to any user that I want, and we'll do that next simply to verify the functionality. The first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to add the token to our account. I'm going to go ahead and click on the menu here, select Add Token, move to Custom Token, and here we're going to enter the address of our contract. So once I do that, you can see there that it recognizes the token symbol, and it gives me a choice of decimals of precision. I'm going to click next, and you can see here that now I am wealthy in Taco tokens. So the next step here is to transfer some tokens. As you can see there, the number of Taco tokens shows up on my account. And next I'm going to be sending some to Able. This is the other account that I have here. I'm operating right now in account 3, and I will be sending Able some Taco tokens. So I'm going to transfer between accounts. I'm going to select Able, and I'm going to send Able 1,000 Taco tokens. Going to then click next, and now confirm my sending of 1,000 Taco tokens. We'll give it a minute. You can see there that the transaction is pending. Okay, the transaction has been confirmed, as you can see. Now, if we go to Able and we do the exact same thing of adding the token so Able can see his tokens, we're going to go ahead and paste the address, click next, and then we're going to add our token to our Able account. And you can see there that Able has 1,000 tacos. So that's a pretty powerful demonstration in the sense that we were able to create a cryptocurrency. We based it on the ERC20 standard. That standard has a set of functionality that we can see here that is typical of most of the basic cryptocurrency operations. We were then able to readily incorporate that new currency into our MetaMask plugin, and we were able to issue it. So this is something that you can start to consider on how to use in your business cases. You can start to consider how you might use it for business advantage. And it's certainly something that we've never had before, to be able to create cryptocurrencies that are globally available and that can be used in the course of business, integrating with the other properties of blockchain, which are identity, which are cryptocurrency, which are smart contracts. So go ahead and give it a try. It's a fun thing to do. You can issue it to your friends and demonstrate that you too can create a currency in 5 minutes.